The projector light flickered across the glass wall as Leah adjusted the cables with trembling fingers. Around her, voices murmured, clipped, amused, impatient. Someone whispered, "She's the intern, right?" "Oh, this'll be quick." The room was too bright, the kind of white light that made every flaw visible. Her palms were damp. She wiped them on her blazer, borrowed a size too big. On the long table, the company's most senior engineers waited behind laptops and paper cups. At the far end sat Victor Hargrave, the CEO, scrolling his tablet with detached calm. Leah tried to breathe quietly, but the microphone picked it up anyway, a small, unsteady exhale. Just hours earlier, she had been in the lab's storage corner, sorting tangled wires and forgotten prototypes. That was where she felt safest, surrounded by the low hum of machines, no one expecting her to speak. She had taken the internship for experience, but it felt more like invisibility training. Fetch this, fix that. Don't touch the real work, except she had touched it, every night when everyone else went home. Her brother, Matteo, had taught her sign language before his hearing disappeared completely. When he started using his hands to say things words couldn't hold, she built something small, something that could listen to him in return, a wristband that translated signs into speech. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. She kept improving it in secret. Because dreaming out loud in a place like this only invited laughter, and now, somehow, she was standing in front of 50 people who were waiting for exactly that, something to laugh at. "Go on." "Leah," said Melissa, her supervisor, smiling a little too brightly. "Show us your project." The way she said project made it sound like a school experiment with baking soda and vinegar. Leah swallowed. "It's called Echo Band. It converts hand signs into voice using motion sensors and AI pattern recognition." Someone chuckled. "AI pattern recognition? From the intern?" She forced a smile, the polite kind that kept her employed. "It's still in testing." Melissa leaned back, arms crossed. "All right, then. Impress us." The air conditioning hummed overhead. Leah looked down at her hands, then at the black band circling her wrist. The metal caught the light, a faint reflection of her face. Tired eyes, soft hair pulled back, a girl who hadn't slept much. She pressed the switch. Nothing happened. A soft snort came from the second row. "Guess it's shy." Her throat tightened. For a heartbeat, she wanted to apologize, unplug everything, disappear back into the quiet safety of the lab. She thought of her mother working late shifts to help with rent, of Matteo signing "Don't Give Up" across the kitchen table. Leah tried again. This time a faint chime, the system awakening. A blue indicator blinked to life, small and steady. Relief flickered across her face, but she hid it. She began her prepared speech, each word careful, deliberate. The device detects hand motion, shape, and orientation, and laughter broke out at the back of the room. 2 engineers were whispering to each other, pretending to sign nonsense gestures. Her voice faltered, and translates it into spoken output. Victor Hargrave looked up briefly, expression unreadable. Melissa cleared her throat as if to move things along. Leah's pulse thudded in her ears. She saw the blue light on her wristband again, small, alive, waiting. She stopped reading. The silence stretched. Then she looked at the CEO and said quietly, "May I just show you instead?" Hargrave raised an eyebrow but gestured for her to continue. Leah's fingers curled into motion, precise, graceful, familiar. The device blinked, waiting to speak. The words it would say, the moment it would all turn, were seconds away. Leah raised her hand, and the room went quiet, not out of respect, but confusion. Her fingers moved in a slow, practiced rhythm, each gesture clean as breath. The device on her wrist glowed brighter, pulsing with faint blue light. Then, from the small speaker on the table, came a clear, human voice. "Good morning. My name is Matteo." The sound wasn't Leah's. It was a calm young male tone, her brother's. It filled the sterile room like sunlight finding its way through blinds. For a second, no one moved. She continued to sign. "I can't hear you, but now you can hear me." A collective stillness fell. Even the air conditioner seemed to pause. Victor Hargrave lowered his tablet slowly, his eyes fixed on the band. Melissa's smile was gone. Her arms had unfolded. Leah looked up from her hands. Her voice, small but steady, carried across the silence. My brother lost his hearing when he was 6. He told me once that silence can be louder than noise, because people stop listening to you. The device translated each sign again, her gestures becoming Mateo's voice in real time. It was fluent, natural, alive. I built this, she said. So no one has to live inside silence. Someone in the back whispered, "Is that real-time translation?" Leah nodded. She typed a quick command, the prototype linking to the screen behind her. Words appeared as she signed, syncing with the voice. The code scrolled like living light, a system too elegant to be dismissed as an intern's toy. She moved through the demo without rushing. Every step unfolded with the quiet precision of someone who had waited years to be heard. The laughter had stopped completely. In its place, there was the subtle hum of realization. When she finished, the screen faded to a single line of text. Everyone deserves to be heard. Leah turned off the device. The silence that followed was heavier than applause. Then Victor Hargrave stood. His chair slid back with a faint scrape that echoed in the glass room. "Miss Ortiz," he said, his tone different now, slower, measured. "Did you design this alone?" "Yes, sir." His gaze softened, though his voice remained steady. "And how long have you been developing it?" She hesitated. "Since my first week here." "After hours." Melissa shifted uncomfortably. One of the engineers looked down at his hands. Victor walked toward the table, stopping beside the wristband. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then he reached out, not to touch it, but as if acknowledging its gravity. "This," he said quietly, "is the most human thing I've seen presented in this building." Someone started clapping. It was hesitant, almost fragile. Then another joined. Within seconds, the sound filled the room. Not the polite applause given at the end of a meeting, but something deeper, genuine. Leah stood still, overwhelmed. She hadn't expected applause. She'd only wanted them to see the idea, not her. Victor extended his hand. "If you're willing," he said, "we'll fund this immediately, and you'll lead it." Her breath caught. "I'm just an intern." "Not anymore," he replied. The lights above flickered softly as the projection screen dimmed. Leah glanced at her wrist, the faint blue LED still glowing, as if alive with its own heartbeat. Around her, faces that once mocked now carried something else. Recognition. Melissa murmured, "Leah." "I didn't know." "It's okay," Leah said quietly. "Now you do." As the room emptied, she stayed behind, unplugging the device, folding her notes. The city's pale afternoon light spilled through the glass, painting everything in soft gold. For the first time since she started at Hargrave Innovations, she didn't feel small. She pressed the switch once more. The device lit up. Mateo's voice emerging in a whisper only she could hear. "Proud of you." Leah smiled, eyes bright, the light catching on her wristband, a quiet symbol of every unheard voice finally finding its sound.